The following game has no ESRB rating, nor is there any sort of restrictive content warning or any sort of warning as to what may be in the game. From what I have played so far, it doesn't seem to have anything worrisome in terms of age-restrictive content. So if I were to guess, if it were to have an ESRB rating, I would say most likely it would be rated E for everyone. So following that guess, and having never completed the game, I can't say exactly the whole of it just from my experience, but I would say that anyone under the age of 6 should not be watching this video. You have been warned.
Greetings and salutations, I am Outlier and I bid you welcome to this channel. Joining me today is, of course, my usual co-hosts, Snowball and Wolf. And today we're returning back to Autonauts. So the premise of Autonauts is that you have been sent to an alien world to build a colony for your people for reasons I'm not entirely certain were ever actually fully thought out. I mean, I'm sure if this was in real life and this was an actual thing a civilization of people were doing, they would have real reasons for it. But they're not shared in terms of backstory for this game. So for whatever reason, you're on this alien world and tasked with building a colony for your people. And while you can harvest every resource, craft every tool, and build every building to fuel, maintain, and expand your colony, you don't have to, in the form of that you can build an ever-increasing army of programmable robots, do all of the menial, hard, repetitive labor for you. Well, I don't think that's an actual game mechanic. I mean, it might be, it could be, it should be, but as far as I know, it's not. So you don't have to worry about your autonomous creations taking over. I mean, technically, they're practically ruling the colony anyway, so it's really just get rid of the guy building more of us. But as far as I know, they can't do that, so moot point. But even if they could, they have a few basically controls in place to prevent them from doing so. Mostly just extra steps that aren't menial or repetitive enough that I feel it warrants a robot to do. But those controls are slowly eroding away as the colony gets more and more complex, and who knows, eventually probably everything will be run by robots. Yes, what were you alluding to? Okay then. For those who haven't seen last episode, the agricultural expansion has pretty much ended, in the form that I was able to finally move my last field, my grain field, over to the new plots of land that I had cleared out for farming God knows how many episodes ago. It's been a while. It's a rather slow and surprisingly complex game than what the advertisements actually make it out to be. It looks like, oh, look, a nice, cute little friendly game that 6-year-olds can enjoy playing. Something that's, might get them off of Minecraft for an hour or 3. But no, it's a surprisingly in-depth and complex game. More so than I was even originally thought when I first started playing this. But that's part of its charm, I guess, and I enjoy playing it. So as I was saying, last episode, grain field moved. All other fields moved. Haven't gotten to cotton yet because it seems like it's going to be an even more crazy and complex thing to grow and maintain and find usages for than the grain field is, which is probably the most complex and crazy thing my colony is currently producing, even if I have absolutely no purpose for the grain seeds just yet. That's on the to-do list. Along with the carrots and pineapples, yes. I will get to them eventually. Maybe even this episode. Probably true. So that's essentially what I've been doing so far. I haven't really played anything between last episode and now because, much like every other game I keep promising I'll play, do some sort of managerial stuff in between episodes, I never get around to it. Because life is busy and messy, and at least they say it's messy. I'm a Hermit, what do I know? But anyway, so with that out of the way, this game is of course made by thank you again. And that being said, let us begin. Alright, so here we are at the colony. These are the fields that I mentioned before. I have moved everything that I was growing previously to these new fields, and I have expansion fields for carrots and pineapples, which I haven't gotten to yet. I got one for cotton, and apparently 2 extra as well. I mean, I would have expanded out here and here, but apparently there's coal in the way, so, well, you can't put fields there. I'm also not quite certain how to remove these rocks yet. I'm sure there's a way, possibly, kind of, sort of, maybe, but haven't gotten around to it yet, so there's that. This, however, and as expansive as I say the colony is, this is the actual colony. Just 10 ramshackle huts that are ever and ever, well, falling to disrepair. I do have issues getting food built and ready and maintained. I mean, they're cooking the food. They're supplying resources to cook the food. It's just that with the fields further away, it takes longer for things to get from point A to point B. And I believe I tried to attend to that issue last episode by increasing the number of logicians that are hauling stuff back and forth. But, things happen. Alright, so anyway, I do need to make watery porridge, which requires, I mean, I'm fairly certain I don't need actual fuel for it. I just increased the the mixing pot to a cooking pot like all the others, but they shouldn't need fuel. But I do require cereal seeds and fresh water in a clay pot. I do have clay pots built. In fact, that's the clay pot storage right there for primary storage. It's at maximum, as is the production side of clay pottage. That's also, oh wow, can store up to 150 fuel. I feel like I should have remembered that, but I don't. But anyway, clay pot making has been backed up because, much like cereal seeds, I don't really have a use for them. I intend to change that. I intend to change a lot of things. One of the things that I intend to change is... So why does this look weird? It's like 2 to 3 bots just sitting on top of each other. Anyway, change that. Find a use for the water, for the cereal seeds, and for that, I'm going to need a robot. Much like so many of my problems, they are solved by robots. Right after rewind this guy. I'm fairly certain that's the rewinder. Yep. And because he's not holding a tool. Toss that over there. Grab a torso and a pair of legs. Alright, wrong one. That's the head for the variants. Don't need a bot with 2 heads. I'm not even certain I can make a bot with 2 heads. Alright, and because every robot gets 1 extra battery for you. Alright, so this is what I want you to do. You're going to come over... See, I need cereal, fresh water, and a clay pot. Alright, so what I'm going to have you do, rather than have you make cereal... One second. I'm going to need a bucket. I'm going to need several buckets, but that's just me and I'm crazy like that. Alright, you get this bucket. Where's my other bucket? That one's carrying seawater. There's my empty bucket. Alright, drop the flail right here. And pick up a bucket. Alright, so this is what I want you to do. You're going to come over here. You're going to go to freshwater storage. Alright, wrong button. You're going to come over here and going to get take fresh water, and then you're going to put it over here. And then when you run out of buckets, you're going to do this until hands empty, and then at which point you're going to come over here and grab a new bucket. I'm going to do this forever. Now go. Yes, now I recognize that that means that freshwater storage will have more demand than supply, probably. But this is rather filled, and they are still gathering water, so hopefully I won't run out of water anytime soon. Or if this will max out, and then it'll just go back to the way it was. Anyway, another robot. In fact, I'm going to need 2 robots. Wrong button. Anyway, so what I want you to do is you are now going to take the water from here. I just realized my bucket broke. Right, okay. Little change in plan. Needing a new bucket anyway. Right, don't need that just yet. You're going to come over here, grab some fresh water, and drop it off here. I'm going to do this until hands empty. At which point you're going to go to crew bucket storage and pick up a new bucket. You're going to do that forever. Now go. And he should technically stop once, well, he gets 2 things of water going. Wherever he is. Alright, and I have that as hands not empty, not hands empty. Now go. Alright, so since now that's filled with water, he is just going to sit there. So, the other robot... I'm gonna figure out where my camera is pointed at now. We'll do the actual cooking. I'm going to have him gather the cereal seeds, the clay pot, and then actually make the food. And then I'm going to have it get stored, well, somewhere, I think. Yeah, probably should have it get stored somewhere, which means... I'll move it later. But first. Alright, so what you're going to do is you are going to need 2 cereal seeds. So here are cereal seeds. So you're going to do this for a count of 2. Get rid of the second one just to save on okay, what's going on? Hang on. Stop for a minute. Okay. Going to need to do that. We're going to also do this 2 times. Let's be better at this than this. Oh well. And then after that, you're going to go and grab a clay pot and add it to here. Which one I'm going to take the watery porridge and dump it in here. I think I can store it in these crates. Yep. You're going to do all of this forever. Yeah, and it used up pretty much his entire memory capable of holding instructions. So, good thing I have these 2 times each. Now go. You should be able to do that. And I shall move this storage, which I can now do all at once, because, you know, put it right here for now, move this over here, and then put this here. And so now that way he'll just put the storage right here. In the meantime, look over here real quick. Storages. Another thing that crates down, so that way the Build-A-Bot can, well, make more. Also take a couple barrels from here, add that to here, just so that way it's nice and maxed out. Add more to this one. Alright, and then I'm going to need another bot because I plan on building, well, silos as well. Just to help store extra cereal seeds here. Alright, so almost forgot what I was doing. Almost. So what I want you to do is, I'm going to need 4 poles, 4 planks, and, 6 planks, and 2 logs. We're going to come over here. We're going to come over here. Get some coal storage. So it says add to coal storage. I think I remember this by now. We'll come over here and take some coal storage. We need to do this a total of 4 times. Going to drop them off here. I'm going to also do this. 4 times. Come over and grab some planks. Then you're going to come over here and drop off the planks. Of course, his brains have more instructions than he can hold. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to strip out all of these. Put in another times loop. 3 times. Drop these off here. Actually, I'm going to have this be until hands empty. Also be until hands empty. Not that that matters. And that's practically his entire allotment for storage instructions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, well, put in the steps to add logs. I'll actually increase this one to 6, and then get rid of this. Then do this 2 times. And then do all of this forever. And that's 5 more kilobytes of instructions than he has storage for in his little bot brain. So what I'm going to have him do is I'm going to have him stop real quick, and then I'm going to go all the way down here and grab a memory upgrade. I had a feeling I would need this. already down there, apparently. Lose track of the guy, so yeah, there's that. Anyway. Install this. And it's still 1 kilobyte over. Well, darn. Well, darn. Okay, then. Alright, where did I pick up a log? You know what? I don't want to know where I picked up a log. I needed the log anyway, so here we are. Just gonna change the blueprint sizes to appropriate size. Same with this one. Just have him stop now. I would have him start working and build more silos, but unfortunately, as I said, the memory expansion doesn't hold enough storage to, well, fit all of these instructions. And I could, in theory, technically, I have 2 robots do this, but I don't feel like programming a second one. Or I can just build a better bot, which should have a larger storage capacity, which I also don't feel like doing. So for now, mark mark 1-164 will be basically sitting here doing, well, nothing. Just leave you there for now. I mean, he's still going to be part of the Build-A-Bots, but until I can get the access to building better memory storages, he's not going to do anything. 163 is one of the colonists. And 162 is holding the water for the cooking pot, so he's also going to be a colonist. And then 161 is holding water from, well, one storage to another, so that makes him a logician. And I got all these other bots that... Well, I gotta come up with, create a team for the guys actually harvesting water from this little lake swampy area. In the meantime, I don't think I have the ability to research anything else. Yeah. I mean, I can upgrade the research apparatus. In fact, I probably should. Even though that requires 1 log, 3 poles, a crude gear, and a rough stone block, which I don't have access to. Also, and I'll probably wait until they get a decent supply of watery porridge going. I do need someone to come over here and actually get the watery porridge to the colonists. Also, Wub has been maxed out. Alright, log. Be over here. Three poles. And a crude gear. I mean, the colonists are getting fed. That's why that's where all the love is coming from, and they all got the little heart indicators. So they're basically, as they're producing the food, it's being used. So it's not like they are going hungry. It's just they are close to going hungry. then I need 1 rough stone block, which I don't remember how to make. So if I go to the Autonautopedia and look at resources, well, the blueprints, parts. Got a crank, fixing pegs. Yeah, okay. What do you need a fixing peg to make a gear? Metal ore is just a pickaxe and trace metal ore deposits. Firebox requires level 5 research technology. And also a steam hammer, crude metal plate, and rivets. Like I said, it gets more complex than one would think. So rough stone block requires a crude chisel and mallet, as well as a hard rock mass. The shaped stone block requires a masonry bench and a rough stone block. And it's a rough stone block I need, right? Yes. So I need a chisel and mallet, which I don't actually have on me. I'm guessing I gotta come over here and build one. And it's probably not being built from the crude workbench. If I have access to it, it's probably from the good workbench. And here it is. It requires a crude blade, a pole, and a wooden mallet. It's crude data storage. How is that different from the memory upgrade? Oh well. Yes, chisel and mallet. Crude blade, pole, and wooden mallet. I am making crude blades, right? Yes, I am. That's right there. I need a pole. Need to rewind you. And a mallet. Where are my mallets? Here we are. And there we go. Set you down here real quick. Drop the bucket off. Need a hard rock mass, which is what I'm assuming these things are. So, the closest hard rock mass is right here. Just go help ourselves to this one. And I think that actually made the mass smaller. Alright, much like logs, it's taking, I can only carry one at a time. And apparently I dropped it. Here, rough stone block. Put it here, and then we just pile everything on, and then upgrade the research bench. And I can upgrade it even further if I so wish. But for right now, I feel the need to, well, basically make... so there is going to be a need for weeds after I upgrade the mixing pot. But I have access to other research recipes now. So basic playthings, which require, well, basic playthings. Better cooking technology. Ability to farm poultry. Beekeeping. brickwork construction technology, basic vehicles for transportation, better shelter technology in the form of stone cottages, so I can just jump from crude huts to stone buildings and just skip the straw ones if I so wish. Lumber technology, better tree growth apparently, I'm not quite certain how that works. Fiber technology, which allows me to, I guess, make string. Animal breeding technology, which requires a coconut, which means eventually I will need to actually get around to getting coconuts. And composting and fertilizer, which requires poop. Most of this I don't actually have access to. So you know what? I mean, I do have access to quite a few of these things. I do have tree seeds, I do have loose weeds, I do have crude axes, I do have stones. I think I can make wheels. I do have access to sand. I don't have access to bees' nests, or at least I don't know where they are. I do have eggs, so I can do research poultry farming. I don't have dung quite yet. You'd think that all my colonists would poop, but apparently they don't. Neither does my character. Robots certainly don't. I can get access to basic playthings, and because I have sticks, and I can build torches. So, really, the only things I don't have access to are the initial research ingredient that I need is basic beehiving and waste technology, and possibly transportation technology as well. But poultry farming is probably going to be one of the more important ones, just because extra resources means extra types of food. And the more advanced they get, the more, well, stuff is needed to keep them in a manner of being advancedness. And I would say they're not replanting the trees. Anyway, egg. There, now. Now, each level of research requires more and more WUV to get it, researched. So, for instance, the first level required like a few hundred WUV per technology. Last level required a few thousand. This level requires 20,000 just for this technology alone. So, since at level 2 WUV, each WUV heart counts as times 10, each heart is only netting me 10. So I need to get to the third stage of, I guess, evolution, where they produce WUV times 3. Which means I need to keep them fed, I need to keep them sheltered, and I probably need to give them clothes. Which should be next on the hit parade. Drop off the hammer and chisel right here because I don't need it right now. I don't have anybody harvesting hard rock masses. But I probably should, especially if it means that it clears the area. You are out of power. Another thought that I had is, why aren't they... That's why. I'm out of tree seeds. I haven't picked them all up. So I'm out of tree seeds, so therefore they're not replanting the trees. Come on, rewind you. You're just gathering the logs. No, you're actually gathering the tree seeds. My apologies. Alright, so my next question will be, now what? And that probably should involve... I mean, now that I have a usage for the cereal seeds, they shouldn't max this out quite as quickly. I mean, they probably will. Quite easily. But that means I now have the ability... Well, it means that they... Can't articulate what I want to say. Straw, byproduct of cereal crop growing. Constantly gets maxed out because the stopping mechanic is based off of cereal seed storage, Once that maxes out, they stop producing straw. I now have a need for cereal seeds, or at least a usage for it, in the making of watery pours, which I still need to get to the colonists. And, so they now have a usage for cereal seeds, and they're being used, which means cereal seed storage shouldn't fill up as quickly, or if it does, it will eventually empty out, so they'll just keep harvesting it eventually, which means they should still keep producing straw. Which means I can now use straw for things and not having to worry about running out when I'm not looking. In the meantime, new bot, because the people are hungry, and every other type of food is running low because I can't get the resources to the cooks fast enough. So let me just pile the parts of every for every kind of robot. Not every kind of robot. Just here. You want you. Grab 4 battery upgrades. 4 speed upgrades. Make a new bot for here. Well, not for here per se. What I want you to do is you're going to come over here, going to grab some watery pours. You're going to do this until your hands are full. At which point you're going to, well, feed somebody. To look for hungry colonists in this 17 by 17 area, just to keep it maxed out large. And do this until your hands are empty. I'm going to do all of that forever. Now go. Alright, so that's one extra thing of food now being consumed. So hopefully the colonists won't starve. Also, the new bot is now part of the caretaking group. And as I was saying, straw houses. Straw houses. So bot storage. Where is housing? That's flooring, walls. Here we are. Log cabin. Need 6 straw. Also going to need 10 of these, so... just build these for right now. Oh no. I need more than 6 straw for stage. It's a 3-stage thing. So look at the instructions. So let me actually just build one and see how that goes. Blueprints. I mean, my plan was just to have a build a bot temporary, just build 10 of them and then just move them, swap them out with the log cabins. But I put that next to the wrong field. Should have recharging bots out here for this area. Basically, anywhere that the logicians get stuck at, I should have a pair of recharging pots just out, sitting there. The main problem with, getting everything from point A to point B is the fact that everybody just stops, eventually. Because they run out of power at the most inconvenient places. Right, and then I need 6 logs for stage 2. This is more complex than I thought it would be. So let's park it over here. Because this is log storage. Yeah, this is central log storage. And they actually ran out of logs for here because they ran out of plantable trees. And somebody's out of power right here. Where are you even going? Oh, collect water. Okay. Alright, what's this third stage? Stage 3 requires planks. Okay, I was worried it's going to be something that I'm not mass producing. In some form or another. Oh, that's interesting. I was wondering if they would consume the clay pot with the watery porridge or not. Turns out they don't. So I could technically have somebody just collect all the pots and just keep recycling them. I have 1 log cabin done. Does not say what I need to actually maintain it. But it's there. Alright, so if I do have robots build 10 log cabins, I'm going to need 3 bots, just 1 for each stage, just to build them all. I'm also going to need a robot to pick up all these clay pots. I'm also going to need a place to put all the clay pots. Actually, you know what? If they're just going to reuse the clay pots, I probably should not have them feeding more clay pots into the mix. So there's the logician hauling pots from point A to point B. If there's one hauling pots from point A to point B. Clay storage 6. Clay storage 3 to clay storage 6. What would have you stop? And I'm going to have you record. I was just trying to figure out exactly what I wanted him to do. I'm going to have you come over here and just collect every clay pot you can find. In this 17 by 17 area, you'll do that until your hands are full, and then you're just going to bring them back to clay pot storage. Actually, bring them off into this clay pot storage, because this is actually central clay pot storage, I think. So any clay pots that get moved get dumped here. And then they get disseminated out from anywhere else. I'm going to go and do that. Of course, that means that... Alright, never mind. Never mind. Go back to doing what you were doing. Whereas, no, I reprogram you to do what you were doing. Because I just realized if I'm going to have this be central storage, I still need a robot to, well... It just undoes the last one. I feel like a cancel button. It'll cancel anything that you just did. I'm sure clear just wipes everything. You're so glad. What I need you to do is... Where's the cook? The cook would be in the colonists. Here, colonists. I need you to stop real quick. So I need you to take this from clay storage 9 and drop it off here. So instead of clay pot storage 6, it's going to be 9. Now go. And then I need to move central clay pot storage over here, and then this clay pot storage here, and since it's empty, one box at a time. And then just add 3 more, so that way the build-a-bots can just build more. They can just have spare storages, which is the whole point of that. And then I need a new robot. No, these parts are for something else. I'm going to come over here and pick up every clay pot you can find. You're going to do that until your hands are full, at which point you're going to drop it off here. Clay storage 8. This until your hands are empty. I'm going to do that forever. Now go. Now it looks like the pots are actually being damaged, which means they should eventually break. Which means I'm going to need a logician to basically make certain that pots get in from point A to point B. But that can be for, well, a later time period. In the meantime, still need to get resources from point A to point B. Still. Again, continuing. Alright, so I'm running out of time, and I don't feel like building more logicians right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to build 3 robots. Well, so what I'm going to do is just build 3 robots and have them start on the cabins, because why not? Because I need the cabins built. That's why. You're going to come over. I don't have central straw storage set up, do I? Alright, so that's also on the to-do list, the ever-increasing to-do list. So you're going to come over here and going to grab a thing of straw. You're going to come over here. And because it requires 6 and they can only hold 4 at any one time, it's not going to be an even amount. So I could have them haul in groups of 2. In fact, I may just do that. Find nearest blueprint in this area that just covers all the blueprints. I don't care, it's not going to be a permanent thing. At the blueprint, you're going to do this. You know what? You're going to do this until you run out of stuff, so... Yeah, so actually... do this until hands full. Do this part until hands empty. And do that forever. Now go. Alright, now bots 2 and 3, I can't continue until the next stage is done, so... let me just help myself to enough straw just to get a cabin up to stage 2. And then I'll have the second bot, program the second bot to build that stage, and then once that stage is done, I'll have the third bot to build the third one. As I suspected, he's jumping stuff off of a different blueprint. Okay. That's fine. Required to maintain the log cabin. Guess I'll find out once I press them into service. Alright, and then for stage 2, let's grab another bot. Going to grab a log. I'm going to drop it off here. Again, just find a spot on the blueprint. And since they can only carry 1 log at a time, I don't see the need to include till hands full or empty loops, so just do this forever. Now go. And there's actually another cabin at stage 2 already, which means I get to finish this one. That or I wait until the other bot finishes this one. Because since it's closest, it's probably going to be the one that... this is probably going to be the one that it works on next. Or first. I'm also going to need recharging bots for this area, because they're probably going to run out sooner rather than later, but that could be an issue for once they actually run out of power. Assumes, of course, that they're going to run out of power in this general area and not somewhere else where I won't lose track of where they are. Of course, now they're out of even watery porridge. On the plus side, the clay pots are picked up. Wrong button. There we go. Grab you. Alright, now that the wall's up, I need a bot to build the plank, well, to roof the thing. So what I want you to do, you're going to come over here, you're going to grab, and they're out of planks, so you are not going to grab any planks. Start rewinding everybody in the immediate vicinity. I may need to make my own planks, because something tells me we were having a small plank shortage before, and now that I let it run out of to, well, nothing, it's going to be, well, not something that they can get back from. Not easily, anyway. Of course, the Woodcutters Guild, the group of bots I have named for actually producing the planks, the poles, and the fixing pegs, I think, doesn't have much room for expansion. So one thought that I had was to basically clear out this area, and or even better this area because it's mostly cleared out anyway, and basically move this lumber yard to here and make it bigger and fill it with Mark 1 bots. And then have this space be the new Woodcutters Guild. So basically I'll move everything from here to here. And so that way I can have multiple people building planks, and multiple people building poles, and probably multiple people building fixing pegs, although fixing peg storage and pole storage are largely at maximum, so they're not an issue right now. But planks, however, is. Although planks are slowly being refilled, they are up to 4 now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you record. I'm going to come over here. Grab a plank, and you're going to do this until your hands are full. I'm going to come over here. And see, he's already running out of power. In fact, he's actually out of power. So you're going to come over here, and you are going to drop it off here. And you're going to do this until your hands are empty. You're going to do this forever. Now go. Alright, so if and when I manage to get enough planks, he should finish building these houses. Rewind you real quick. And I should technically get recharging bots for over here, but I would say it's like I have no one to train them on, but I've always got robots just sitting out God knows where, just out of power, such as like right here. In fact, there's like a whole pile of them. What happens when the recharging bots run out of juice themselves? Which is a chronic occurrence. You'd think that I would be smart enough to have duplicates of the recharging bots, but eventually the recharging bots will run out of power at the exact same time, and then, well, both will be out. And then no one gets recharged, and I still need a pair of recharging bots for right here, because again, right here's a dead zone where they run out of power and just sit there. On the plus side, apparently they are actually making enough planks to, well, fill all the need and to have him get the ability to finish, well, one cabin. So now, technically, 2 of the 10 that I need, fully complete. One is at stage... 2 are at stage 3. 1 is at stage 2, and the remaining 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are yet to even be completed stage 1, although 1 is about... Well, it's got 2 things of straw, so next haul of straw, which is that one inbound, we should finish that one. So I'll have... Or not. I'm just gonna drop them off right here. Okay, fine. Be that way. So, since they're building things, I feel that they should be part of the Build-A-Bot group, even though they are building... Well, I mean, they are building buildings, whereas the other Build-A-Bots are building, well, containers and the like. So the Build-A-Bots are now up to 6, including the guy that can't build the silos because his little bot brain isn't big enough to hold all the instructions. So that's a work in process. On the plus side, the grain field is now, well, the old grain field, I should say, is now completely covered up. So what I should probably do is basically retire all of these, well, basic bots. Same with over here. For no other reason, just to clear out the space and clutter and all the bots on this list. Although, I'm not certain that if I just remove their... Actually, I know for a fact that if I just remove their instructions and keep them off of a team, then they won't go away from off the list. They'll just... well, they'll just still be on the list, just in the unassigned zone. You know, this area right here, where I have plenty of bots currently unassigned. I mean, my one thought is to build a bot storage and just shove all the basic bots that I no longer need in there, or at least as many as can fit. But each bot storage requires panels and square frames, which I have yet to actually produce. And they're out of points again. Okay. Anyway, and I don't have a means of producing panels and square pegs. Can't talk anymore. To build the bot storage. I mean, I should. It's these are tools. Here. Those are just bot parts. We're a structural workbench. Yeah, so I'm going to need, in order to make the square frames, I need 4 poles and 4 fixing pegs. And in order to make the panels, I need 1 square frame, 4 planks, and 4 fixing pegs. So I've already been running issues into plank storage, it being chronically empty, so I'm going to actually need somebody else to, well, a second member of the Woodcutters Guild to make more planks, which would require more logs, which is currently in the process of running out, which means I'm going to need more logicians to, this one's completely empty, to haul logs from the log storages at the tree farms to central log storage, so that way it can be used by, well, anybody who needs them. And these crude huts are wearing out. And they've actually managed to finish 5 of the cabins for now. And the guy that's hauling planks is stopped because it takes longer to haul logs because he's doing it one at a time than it does to take to haul the planks. Or the straw, which is, you know, practically on the other side of the colony. So, a lot of things getting processed, a lot of things getting done, a lot of more things needing to get done. I mean, I still don't have recharges for here, I still haven't named the team that's should be collecting water. Did everybody break their bucket all at once? Or are they just out of power? Seriously, where are they? Alright, so they broke their buckets all at once, and since water storage is actually filled, they're actually stopped doing what they were doing. Fair enough. Okay, fair enough. I mean, that's fair. It makes sense. It's cool. About the only thing that I'm having issues with, because again, not having issues with, I should say, because again, I got plenty of food at the farms, just not at the cooking stations, which means that they're not not producing as much food as they used to, which means that the colonists are probably going to start going hungry again. At the very least, the log cabins are back to being mostly, kind of, sort of, ish maintained. Oh, and you're out of power too. Goody. On the plus side, even though it's at 10 times love and he needs 20,000, the one researching bot is managed to dump off over 2,500 love, so research into poultry farming is already 1/10 complete. Well, over 1/10 complete, actually, I should say. So that should eventually get done, and then I would have access to the ability to, I guess, grow and maintain chickens, which is another thing that I can do, because apparently I didn't have... Why is there an apple on top of this? You know, I don't want to know why there's an apple all the way up there, or how it got up there. I mean, how it got up there is easy. You just drop it on the same square as the rest of the column and just gets added to the top, but I don't want to know how it ended up there in the stack. I mean, as I was saying, poultry, new thing to build, new thing to maintain, new thing to worry about. Like, I didn't have enough to worry about because I still need to set up cotton production. I still need to increase plank production because apparently that's now an issue. I still need to get carrots and coconuts, which I have yet to get to for probably a dozen some odd episodes. I don't know how many I've made of this thing. Of this game, I should say. And still need to do God knows what else. Well, still need to finish the cabins, which are getting done. Still need to replace the crude log huts with the cabins. They still need to, once I grow cotton, to turn it into something that the colonists can use. And once all that's done, they'll probably hit stage 3 of evolution, at which point I would need to figure out what I need to stage 4. And so that should be fun. That should be interesting. That should be another pile of headaches. But all of that is going to have to be saved until next time, because I'm going to call it here. Everybody stay safe from the plague, and have a good day.